And hello, welcome back to Unhelpful Yoda. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do an album review of Death by Rock and Roll by The Pretty Reckless. Formed in 2009 by lead singer Taylor Momsen, in 2010 they released their first album, Light Me Up, with the singles Make Me Wanna Die and You. Their second album, Going to Hell, included the title track along with Heaven Knows, and their third album, Who You Selling For, released in 2016. Death by Rock and Roll released February 12th of this year, and the title track hit number one top mainstream rock charts as the lead single. Still a great song today, perfect way to open the album, and a great return for the band after about a 4 year hiatus. This was followed by Only Love Can Save Me Now, and while not bad for me personally, it was a bit underwhelming and kind of forgettable. After about 10 listens, it just hasn't stuck, and I think I'll skip it on future releases. The second track of the album, and it just didn't do it for me. But this was followed up with And So It Went, another single, and my personal favorite on the album. The chorus feels like something people would chant at a show, and that actually happens at the end of the song. And the softer break in the middle, followed by the instrumental, really kept the song moving at a good pace. Definitely a highlight, really enjoyed it. Next is 25, another highlight from the album, and another single. And while this song is softer, the chorus is quite heavy, and the piano, about 2/3 of the way in, is very welcome. Really enjoyed that one. My Bones and Got So High are next, and both are okay. I don't love the chorus on My Bones. The repetitive My Bones gets kind of boring after a while. But otherwise, the song's fine, and Got So High is just a fine soft rock song. Nothing special, but definitely not bad. I would definitely listen to both again if I was listening to the album, but I wouldn't seek them out on their own. It's not something I would search on YouTube or something like that. Broomstick is a fun little intro that leads into Witches Burn, and that's a very good song. It's something I like, and it kicks off the back half of this album in a really good and fun way. Uh, Standing at the Wall and Turning Gold continue, and they kind of hold up the back half of the album, but they're not quite as good as the first half. The first half had all the singles, so it's hard to compete with that. Um, and then we move into Rock and Roll Heaven, and it's a good story-driven song. The allusions and straight references to other people and bands are fun, but they don't quite sound like a name dropping for the sake of doing so. And it's a good way to end the album, except that there's one more song. From there, we move into Harley Darling, and it feels like a country rock song, and it's not bad, but it definitely came off a little weird to come after Rock and Roll Heaven, which I felt like would have been the better closer. It's a good song, but it probably should have been somewhere else in the album. Overall, it's a strong album. Really enjoyed almost every track, with only the real one exception. The front half is really strong with all three singles basically back to back, but it's held down a little bit by Only Love Can Save Me Now. The second half is near perfect though, with every song being a solid 7 out of 10 or better. And while I think ending on Darling is odd, I can't deny it's a good song. At its worst, I think every song is good and enjoyable, but at its best, with songs like And So It Went in 25, I think it's up there with some of the band's best work. Solid 8 out of 10, definitely worth a pickup and a listen.